So now in this video, we're going to make another JFET switch using the J310. And actually, this transistor is normally on, but right now with the light level that we have, the transistor is off. And if I start covering the light dependent resistor there, so 0 volts is right down the middle, right there. So we have 4 volts negative, 4 volts positive. We split the power supply rail here with a rail splitter integrated circuit that looks like a transistor. But there you can see when we rise above about negative 3 volts towards negative 2 volts, the LED looks like it turns fully on probably by about negative 2 volts, somewhere around there. So I didn't look at it really closely, but just kind of eyeing it quickly. So if I cover this, make it really dark, we get to the ground, the halfway point. And so, as I said before, I used a rail splitter integrated circuit. So in relationship to ground, where we designate ground using the rail splitter, the positive rail is 5 volts above there. There's only 4 squares there though, so it's off the chart. But in any case, we also have 5 volts negative, and that goes to 4. But as we could see, all we had to really see to know what was going on was between about negative 2 and about negative 3. And so with the setup that we have here, if I get a bright enough light, I can get it underneath that bottom there. So we could look at that in more detail, but that doesn't really matter. Let's get to the actual circuit. And so the transistor here, the control voltage is below what the rest of the transistor is doing, and so it really helps to have a split power supply. You don't necessarily need it. There's other uses for it with single supply, but in any case, we are halfway in between positive 5 volts, negative 5 volts. So we just take 10 volts here. I put it a little bit higher because you lose a little bit of voltage through the wiring and everything, and I make sure both of those numbers were 5 earlier, not 4.97 or something. But in any case, we just do that in this case with this transistor-like component here. So it's got 3 pins. Top pin here, so looking at us, the flat side, the right pin, that's pin number 3. That's the in pin. Pin number 2, that's the common pin. Pin number 3 is out, and that is our virtual ground. And so let's move on to the transistor. So there's a number of ways to make a virtual ground. If you have a split power supply, that's even better. Just use that to begin with. And so here is the J310. You can see that pretty nicely right there. I got this from the Joe Knows electronics kit. And the pin layout right there. So I don't have this one memorized, so we definitely want to look at it. So drain, when you're looking at the flat side, left pin, source, middle pin, and gate is the right pin. And so the drain will be towards the more positive side. And so we'll just kind of go there. And the gate is the control pin. And so we're going to leave that down one row. We're going to put the source to our virtual ground. So source is the middle pin, and the drain is the top pin. And you will see that is what we have right here. Now, let us get to the load next. And so that is just an LED that we want to light up, and a 220 ohm resistor. So I didn't mention this in the last video. We're dealing with a 10 volt power supply, but in relationship to ground, the load is only going to see a maximum of 5 volts. We're actually going to get a little bit of drop with the transistor, even when it's conducting as well as it can. So we got even more of a safety margin. But in any case, we're only dealing with 5 volts, so 220 ohms is perfectly fine for protecting an LED. This is the cathode, the short lead if you haven't cut them, long lead the anode up one row. And the anode, we're going to take that 220 ohm resistor and put it to the negative rail. So I lowered the light a little earlier. It's a little hard to see, but there we go. So now the transistor is a normally on component, and I discussed this in the last video. Unfortunately, current doesn't flow through the gate unless you reverse bias it. It's kind of like a diode, and so it doesn't flow, and so it kind of acts like a capacitor. And so I did other videos with the MOSFET. so I can give it a false signal. So it's storing the charge that I last left there, and I can even kind of give it charges through the board moving around. And I thought about doing a separate video on this. You may see the LEDs kind of fading. It's because I'm adjusting the charge, and so it's kind of got a pass-through effect. So even we do need this resistor for the voltage divider. Even without the resistor, it's a good idea to I'm going to start with the 10 kilo ohm resistor. I think it'll give the best effect. But there you can see now the transistor is fully on as it is intended to be. So no current is going through the resistor, just whatever it took to get rid of whatever capacitive charge there was, and then it settled. So practically nothing. And so that goes to our virtual ground, which is actually the more positive side of this voltage divider. So we have the light dependent resistor, and that's it. Pretty simple. And so that's going from the gate now. So that's the bottom pin right down there. We can zoom in, and then it's going to the negative rail, which is now negative 5 volts in relationship to ground. So there we go. Now hopefully this makes sense. Now to turn the transistor off, we need a negative voltage. This light dependent resistor conducts better when a brighter light is falling on it. If it gets bright enough with my flashlight, for instance, we can get it down to you know, almost 0 ohms, and not quite, I think like 30 or something, but in relationship to 10,000 it's practically nothing. So we're practically putting 5 volts at the gate if the light is bright enough. If it gets dark enough, I even wrote the numbers there, so if you get it bright enough, I never brought it to the sun and got as much light as I could, but it gets to practically 0 ohms. If you get it dark enough, my LCR meter can only measure, I think it was 200 mega ohms, 200 million ohms, and this passed that. And so it's a huge range of resistances for a single component, just based on how much light is falling on it. So right now there's too much light on it for it to light up, and so I put this is a alligator clip cover. Here is the alligator clip that it was on, and they cover these light dependent components really nicely. Makes them really dark, and so that's probably almost as dark as you can get. Now this is with a 10 kilo ohm resistor. We could also go for the 100 kilo ohm resistor, which makes it easier to turn it off. And so we would need, where did I put that 100 kilo ohm? There we go. So that is going to the, I pulled the wrong one. So there you go. Put that to virtual ground and put the light dependent resistor back right there. There we go. So now we have it. It's harder to get it to light up, and so now I do need the jumper. And if I was turning the lamp off when I was doing the practice run, because okay, it doesn't do too bad like that. So in any case, let's try turning it off. I have the overhead light on, but it's really energy saving. Even that is not enough to turn it off. So we have that kind of an extreme. We have to get it really dark before the LED will turn on. And then we can yank the 10 kilo ohm and jump to a 1 kilo ohm. We will have the opposite situation right there. So the LED's on, and it's staying on. This lamp is at its brightest setting, and so now I do need the flashlight, and let's try to make it, there you go, so you can see that pretty good on camera, that I have to get the flashlight on it to turn it off. So you can adjust the sensitivity really easily with the other half of the voltage divider. And if we weren't making a voltage divider, we were just taking, like in the last video, whether we are getting the negative 5 volts or not, you want to go a higher value just to make sure it stays to ground so you don't get that capacitor effect that we had, where you get an unknown state because it's just floating. It builds up a charge and holds it. And but for the voltage divider, you can go down lower or higher, whatever works best for you. And so in any case, hopefully that made sense. Check out these other videos I'm posting on the screen, and I will see you in the next video.